too many employees have too little control over their work, no influence over organisational decision-making processes, and too few opportunities to use and develop their skills at work. That's always been the case at the UK. It dates back to the Industrial Revolution, but it's got much worse. The commodification of employees has got much worse under neoliberalism. So I'd like to make the case that unions could extend their influence and improve a lot of British workers by addressing this problem. And there are examples from the UK and Europe where unions have developed, promoted and fought for alternative aims and means of production that support higher job quality and better business performance, as well as more ethically and socially conscious business strategies. I'm just going to give 3 quick examples. First, unions have sometimes encouraged firms to diversify and to rethink their means of production, often as part of efforts to resist rationalisation and job losses. In the 1970s, for example, a national bargaining strategy to stop closures by Lucas Aerospace led to company processes being redesigned. In the new model, employees were involved in company decision-making processes at every level. The company drew on employees' skills and creativity to develop new and more ethical markets and products. Another example, which some of you might know about, is the successful Unison bid up at Newcastle Council to run their back office services, which similarly involved employees in redesigning the service, and shows that this model can work in the public sector as well as the private. Second example, unions could drive the agenda further by promoting and implementing skills training. I don't know if anyone's heard of the electrical technical colleges that ran under the Amalgamated Union of Engineering Workers, now Unite. But I think they offer an example of how it could work. The colleges were originally set up to ensure that workers' skills kept pace with technological change. Technological change moved too quickly for that, so they became about multi-skilling, which was sensitive in parts of the union movement. But by the 1980s and 90s, the unions were successfully delivering high-quality, multi-skilling training for most of the major employers across the country. The colleges allowed the union to support redeployment and retraining over redundancy in the face of shocks. They also addressed wider job quality issues. So as well as providing training, the union-run colleges worked with managers to redesign jobs and work organisation to ensure that the new skills that employees had got through training were then utilised in the workplace, and also for employers that their investments in training weren't wasted. The initiative generated a profit for the union, and by all accounts the programme was popular with staff, employers and shop stewards. Finally, in other Northern European countries, unions are part of a much more active institutional environment generally that supports and encourages firms to take the so-called high road to growth. So in the German-speaking and Scandinavian countries, vocational education and training systems are regulated by the social partners who work together to improve both the supply of and the demand for skilled workers. Social partners develop and design vocational qualifications and workforce training programs. In some cases they deliver business support. They also uphold workplace standards and protect consumers from irresponsible practitioners by setting licenses to practice, regulating the quality of college and work-based training, and conducting assessment procedures. And the social partners each fund their own staffing costs and are able to raise additional funds through levies on employers or employees, meaning that the system is co-funded by the state, employers and employees. And I think the union role on sector skills councils at the moment offers an opportunity in that regard. The IPPR has called for reforms to sector skills councils that would give unions, alongside employer associations, a stronger voice, a stronger role, and give them the powers and the remit to raise business performance and job quality in their sectors, along the lines of other Northern European countries. Just to conclude, I suppose following on from what Mike said, a more responsible capitalism does need alternatives. And many people think that the unions have more power in this area than they often think they do, certainly in the sectors where they're present, certainly in the public sector. And a focus on the means and aims of production has the potential, challenging that might be, to rebuild union strength and also renew their role in wider society. And so the question I'll just leave you with is whether unions would or are in a position to take on this challenge and to help shift British capitalism but also public sector reform in a different direction.
Thanks very much.